Well, good morning. We are here with another episode of the Vital Update. It's been a couple of days. We had a lot of development since the last time we were on here. We had this little hurricane that came through over the weekend, and we were actually traveling last week for Thursday's episode, so we weren't able to do that one. But I'm excited to talk about some of the hurricane relief efforts that are going around, and we've got a very special guest. I'm actually very excited about this one. Victoria Alleman with Acadiana. What is your actual title there?
Director of Member Relations. So I get to work with awesome members like you guys.
That's fantastic. So one of the things we wanted to bring you on for, there's a couple of things just talking about the hurricane and what we've seen happen, in the southeast Louisiana. Part of what we do in our business is deal with scammers and things like that. And we've seen actually already, and it's funny how they always still prey on these people. It doesn't matter. They don't stop, no matter what we have, whether it's COVID or things like that. But we're seeing already some scams happening, either with a link that's, hey, click here to see some of the damage and the aerial footage, and then that's actually not what it is. It's a virus that goes on your computer. We've seen that. We've seen there's different FEMA websites that are fake. We've seen that's actually kind of a common one. And
right.
There's also a bunch of different places that are taking donations that are not necessarily worthy of those donations necessarily, or maybe a scam just trying to steal people's money. So what we did wanted to bring you on, y'all have got some stuff going on in the works that we're able to partner with you guys to actually know where it's going, know it's going to a good cause, and just kind of tell us what is Acadiana doing as a membership and what we're able to get involved with the community.
So something that I think is so true in the South is that there's that sense of community. People join together. So right Sunday morning, I was starting to already get text messages from some of our partner organizations like AVA, some of our members, IDI workspaces, of saying, okay, I know we huddled together. We did something for Hurricane Laura with Lake Charles and to our neighbors to the west. So now it's time to focus the attention to our neighbors to the east. And we can redo that, because we had now almost a year ago a drive for Hurricane Laura, and it went off fantastic. But those talks started to really push through, and we were able to get something going. So this Thursday we'll be having that supply drive. And to your point, Paul, of sometimes in these moments where we have that sense of community, those bullies and those scammers like to pop up, that's just our reality of the world we live in. But having the connections with IDI workspaces, so Byron Trosclair, he's actually the president and owner of IDI, but he's from that Thibodaux and Houma area. So he has those relationships, those solid, creditable relationships there, that all the donations will be able to go there and then even further onward into the New Orleans area and even past New Orleans. So he's already been in talks with some of the hospitals there, their Chamber of Commerce's, their Acadiana equivalents in those areas, to make sure that the right people get the right supplies.
Yeah, and I would say Louisiana is very unique when it comes to these type of events, where it's like the hurricane's still in process, and you already have people like ready to go out and help, and they're just wanting to make those efforts. You look back at Katrina and the things that happened with that, and I love being from here, and you see on social media, everybody's like, "Oh, y'all watch how the demonstration of being an American and patriotism and all of that stuff, just helping your neighbor." I think
that's so needed in the world right now, right? Like,
yeah.
I'm
More so now than ever, right?
Yeah, just to show what being a kind human actually is. It's thinking of oftentimes things bigger than yourself, and just saying, how can I be of service? And again, as the hurricane's going on, and again, I mean, y'all are in Lafayette. We're blessed that we really didn't get.
Been very blessed the last 2 years.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, exactly. But those conversations were happening as it's going on. Those conversations are already beginning. It's not like we're waiting a week to then be like, okay, what do we need to do now? It's like, let's be proactive instead of reactive about this.
Right. And I think too, that's, we understand the gravity of the situation because of our proximity to it. I was having a conversation with somebody yesterday, and it was like they've never experienced a hurricane. They can't even comprehend it. They don't understand what this means. But for us, it's like, okay, it's 90 degrees outside. There's all of New Orleans has no power right now. And just being able to sympathize with them, but also be able to kind of coordinate those efforts with you guys and join with y'all has been awesome. So we're available if anybody wants to drop off stuff to our office. We'll make sure that it gets to the right people. But kind of what are we looking to get? What do we need? What are we needing to fill right now? What's the immediate need?
So some of the requests that are coming through is water. And when they ask for water, they're really asking for gallons of water. I mean, bottles and pallets of water is fantastic, but that goes quick, right? Especially like you said, you're going to tarp your roof in 90-degree weather. That bottle is one sip. So if you could get some gallons, that would be great. Food, and it doesn't necessarily have to be non-perishables. I mean, obviously we're not trying to bring them packs of deli meat, but if we could maybe bring them, a bag of apples, a bag of potatoes, different things like that. I read something, it said, don't treat us like strays. We don't want to be eating stuff that you cleaned out of your pantry and you're like, no, we'll eat that. They want and need nourishment, especially if they're working outside, cutting limbs off their houses. Bug spray. We live in Louisiana where our mosquitoes are as big as birds. So you're outside all day, you're going to need some mosquito spray. And then some requests have come through for some tarps. They did say that some of those temporary tarps that you're able to get quick and easy are great, but they don't last super long. And as we know, these hurricane relief efforts last longer than just a few weeks. And unfortunately, we're even seeing a year later in Lake Charles that some of these tarps are still on these roofs. So if we could find some good quality tarps, and we're really excited that one of our investors of One Acadiana is Stein's, and that's a local home improvement shop, and they have to be able to go and support them to get those tarps to the people out to our east.
And that's also nice to have a local company like that. They understand everything. They understand.
It's a family owned. We love Stein's. Jeremy Stein, he's been fantastic. He led great relief efforts in Lake Charles when Hurricane Laura hit. So he's again stepping up, and he's saying whatever New Orleans area and beyond needs, we're there to help them. But that, of course, batteries, flashlights, different things like that, because as we know, they're reporting that it may be even a month before parts of New Orleans gets electricity back.
Yeah, electricity and internet. You don't realize how dependent you are on that stuff till you don't have it. And that having, I think, what is concerning and some of the stuff that can get lost is because New Orleans is such a big city, a lot of those resources and a lot of the focus is on New Orleans, and it is bad. I mean, 100% of New Orleans is without power, but there's also all these smaller towns like Houma and Thibodaux and some of that stuff. Grand Isle, I think, they actually had some people stayed for the hurricane for that. So
I read that 24 people stayed in Grand Isle, and I'm like,
that shocked me when I saw that.
I
know. But I understand. I can sympathize with them because I've never left for a hurricane. No, we haven't had a direct hit here, but it would be hard for me to leave everything.
That's scary.
So I don't fault them for that, but now is the time we need to not only focus on New Orleans as well, but all these smaller towns that have been hit. And so are y'all working with any organizations down there? Is that something that y'all have kind of already identified and partnered with?
Yeah, so we're really lucky that just the partnerships that we formed here in Lafayette to create and really push this messaging out. Apart from you guys, thanks so much for having me on here to help spread that word. But AVA, which is the Acadiana Veteran Alliance, it's headed up by Millicent Nugent. She's really working with the veteran population because there is such a large veteran population in South Louisiana to help them get the supplies they need. We're working with the 705. That is a young professional group here in Acadiana. They're fantastic. We partner with them a lot. Roddy Bergeron, their president, is helping push that. And then KDN has been so gracious to get us on the air, get us some spots for that. Mr. Al Abear is going to be here at One Acadiana the morning of our drive doing live coverage. So if anyone wants to be on camera dropping off, come around 4:30 a.m. We'll be here outside. And then, of course, IDI, they have a fantastic team there. Again, they're from the Houma Thibodeau area, but they have massive trucks that will be able to come straight here, load it up. So we're not having to transport all of these supplies multiple places. We can load up straight on their truck, and then they're heading there, getting it to, like I said, the Houma Chamber of Commerce, the hospitals in the area. And then, of course, once you get there, you have to be flexible and fluid. Things might change. Roads may be closed. So there may be a church that there's people standing outside. And if those people look hot, I know that the IDI team, they'll pull over and give them some water. So it's all about just thinking beyond yourself and seeing where you can serve and fill in those gaps.
So tell me a little bit about, how's that going to work as far as the donations? I think you told me y'all had a truck leaving on Thursday. Are y'all going to try to go every week on the same time? What's the best way to organize some of that if we have people that want to drop some things off?
So, like I said, this Thursday, that truck is coming to One Acadiana at 1 p.m. So if y'all want to maybe collect and be a drop-off center until then, and then people can come. So the drive is happening in front of the One Acadiana office at 804 East St. Mary from 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. Those supplies. But then again, we are in talks with IDI to try to figure out a second drive. Maybe not a drive that One Acadiana hosts, but maybe going to some of these partner businesses to pick up supplies and making another trek down there. And I know that you're going to start to see all of these other organizations just being of service. I know there's already talks with some of the shops that are along Ambassador Caffrey and that Whole Foods shopping center. They're creating a drive. So I think people just need to be aware and have their eyes open to these opportunities and just see in any way that they can, because I think the beautiful thing is that One Acadiana, AAVA, 705, Acadian, we're not the only ones doing this. And again, that's Louisiana culture, but we have to be aware of what's going on. So keep your eyes open. If you see something, do something.
Yeah, and if anybody's not able to go there, at the time for One Acadiana, we'll make sure it gets to the right places. If anybody drops stuff off at our office, I'm sure, I don't want to put this out there for everybody, but I'm sure every One Acadiana member would be more than happy to make sure it gets to the right places, to definitely help with some of those relief efforts. But is that something y'all are going to see in the short term? Y'all going to do that every week? Is it going to go at the same time, or?
Yeah. So right now we have only this Thursday set. We are in talks of potentially maybe doing another one the next week. I know there's been talks from an organization called LADCO, which is the Oil and Gas Louisiana Association, of maybe doing it the next week. So if that's flip-flopping, we just want to make sure that we get it out to as many people as possible. And we all know that our sphere is only as big as it realistically is. So if we can partner up with these other organizations to push out, then it would just be more successful for all. And like you mentioned, Paul, with how vital y'all stepped up and saying, look, come drop off. We can get them to them on Thursday before that first initial truck leaves. It's a really awesome thing that I've had multiple members and investors say, okay, we'll be a drop-off point. We'll get the supplies to you Thursday so we can load up that truck. We will have volunteers here. It'll be easy, COVID friendly. All they have to do is just pull up in the front of the business. We'll take it out and load it straight onto the truck for them.
Well, look, we're very excited and we're proud. I know Sarah has done a lot of stuff with you guys.
Yeah.
From our team, she works with y'all very closely, and we're very.
As our ambassador of the month.
I know, yeah. And we're very excited, and these moments make us proud to be part of the organization that y'all have, which y'all have done a really good job with. So I challenge every One Acadiana company and member to do something, even if it's just bring one thing. If everybody brought something, if all of the members bring something, we're able to definitely see some needs met. Sarah, I mean, you've been kind of quiet. What's going on?
We're taking it right over here. No, but when I saw that One Acadiana was starting this drive, I think I saw it yesterday. I reached out to Victoria and I was like, come on the podcast, tell people, share everything. Just because, like you said, it's sometimes if you're not fully invested or you're just not thinking about it, because again, we were so blessed to have the hurricane chip away from us, and all of our hearts are hurting for Southeast Louisiana. But you can kind of miss it. So just having your eyes open, being aware of what's going on. And even if you're not able to in that very moment help, just sharing it with a friend, sharing it on Facebook. You may think like, oh, I'm just 1 grain of rice and a whole meal, but at the end of the day, like that may just get it to the person that it needs to be. So like Paul said, we are more than happy to collect everything. We'll bring it over on Thursday and just continuing to look for these opportunities to give back and help as Southeast Louisiana moves through this, because it is going to be a long time.
It's going to be a long trek. And again, to echo what you've just said, when you're on Facebook or Instagram and you're scrolling and you see a drive, right, there's a reason you saw that post. I'm a believer that everything happens for a reason. So if that has been placed in front of you, all it takes is just dropping off a gallon and maybe a pack of diapers, right? Things that we take for granted that you don't realize how important they are until they're taken away from you. At One Acadiana, we have 550 members. So imagine if 550 companies that say have an average of 10 employees each brought a gallon of water, each brought a box of cereal. Like, the impact that you can make is huge. And I think that's what it's going to take to help get all of our neighbors and our state back on track. We're resilient. We can do it. I know we can.
Oh, we've got it. And we're going to help everybody along the way.
Yeah.
Hey, are y'all working? I know you mentioned the HOMA Chamber of Commerce. Is that when these kind of things happen from a chamber perspective, do y'all kind of identify those and work with them directly?
So yeah, the chamber world is really small, and so is that economic development piece. We have heard from GNO, which is the One Acadiana equivalent in New Orleans, that they reached out and they said, we're still here. We're working on limited capacity, especially networking. So they said that when they're ready, they're going to reach out, but they have been in constant communication of just trying to make sure that all their team is safe. I think everyone right now is kind of in that survival mode, and I would expect by Thursday, when we have that truck loaded up, then we're going to be able to say, okay, let's take these waters here, these diapers, maybe to this woman's shelter. We'll be able to have more of a direct plan. But I think right now is just really gathering as much as we can. And then as we know, that 2-hour drive to New Orleans, which realistically will probably be a 5-hour drive to
for a while.
Things will change. New opportunities will come up. But I don't want that to ever discourage someone that they shouldn't be giving, because they might not know exactly whose hands it's going in, but know that the best intentions are there, and everyone we haven't been in talks with are credible organizations.
All right, we're going to put this graphic up one more time, just kind of telling us what is needed and where you can drop these things off at. And obviously, like I said, anybody can drop things off to us here at our offices, and we'll make sure that it gets there. And so that truck will be leaving around 1 o'clock on Thursday, it looks like.
Yes, it'll probably take us a good hour to load up. So get it here by that 1-2-ish time slot this Thursday at One Acadiana, and we'll be able to load it up, get it out, and come on by. Al Abear with Acadiana is always a good time, and he'll be here cracking some jokes. And if you just maybe need a little bit of positivity, come by. We can take some pictures together. One Acadiana will be live streaming, getting people.
I was going to say we may come do a live.
Come on
Thursday and try to get some people to drop some stuff off from our network. So
exactly, the more the merrier, especially in this instance.
Absolutely. All right, Victoria, I appreciate you coming on today. If anybody sees this, drop a comment below if you need any help or you need clarification on where to drop off anything. We'll be more than happy to assist you with that, and we can get you in touch with the right people. It's nice to have organizations that we can trust and we can work with, and very, very glad we're a part of One Acadiana. So
we're so thankful for you guys. Really, y'all are leaders in y'all's industry and leaders in our community, and we wouldn't be where we are without all of our members like you guys. So we appreciate you.
All right. Thank you.
Victoria.
Bye, guys. Have a great day.
Okay, bye.